The Black Project. Paris reboots the system. Paris Saint-Germain is moving in an uncharacteristic silence, an unsettling quiet, as if something hidden brews behind the scenes. Something unlike any transfer window we've seen before. 3 major deals are being orchestrated in secrecy. 8 players are preparing their farewells among them, figures who once wore the shirt as if they carried the very essence of the French dream. But is this merely a rebuilding phase? Or are we witnessing a footballing earthquake, the calm before a coming storm? The most pressing question remains, what is Nasser Al-Khelaifi planning? And who will fall victim to the next move? Get ready to uncover the names and the secrets. Departing stars. The fortress, searching for its iron heart. Gianluigi Donnarumma. In a Parisian summer filled with uncertainty, a heavy shadow begins to move away from the champion's goal. Donnarumma, the goalkeeper who stood like a wall of fire during the European Championship, is silently approaching the exit. Years of consistency, no public conflict with Luis Enrique. Yet what lies beneath is greater. His contract expires in the summer of 2026, and there has been no progress toward renewal. Paris, in search of a goalkeeper who can play confidently with his feet, is weighing its decision with deadly calm. Guardiola has set his sights on him, and Manchester United are observing closely. A fee of €40 million could open the door, and the race begins. Who will claim him first? Do you believe Paris will relinquish the cornerstone of its defensive security? Or will Gigi write a new chapter in Manchester or elsewhere? The mirror that reflects nothing. Arnau Tenas. Talent alone was not enough. When a mirror fails to reflect, the dream is forced to flee. Arnau Tenas, the goalkeeper who sat behind Ander Garcia for Spain's youth national teams, though he was arguably the more deserving departed La Masia once he realized that Ter Stegen's path was blocked and chose the Parisian adventure instead. A land where time and space show no mercy, but minutes eluded him. His name was never called. He transformed from a formidable talent into a silent shadow on the champions bench. Now, he seeks a definitive departure, not alone. Clubs such as Espanyol, Valencia, Sevilla, and even Bournemouth in England are watching closely. The decision is near, but his fate remains suspended. Will the chains be broken, or will he be left to wither in the shadows? A talent like Tenas must not be buried. So we ask, where should his story begin anew? The lion whose roar was silenced. Presnel Kimpembe. When the captain's roar is silenced, the fortress begins to tremble. Presnel Kimpembe, the iron heart of Paris, has faded into the background. 2 seasons without football, without a roar, without a single fierce charge. Injuries wore down his body, and the club's management forgot him. Once the first name in defense, now ranked 5th. At 29, he refuses to be buried on a bench where he knows every nail by heart. Paris is prepared to let him go for free, a gesture of loyalty. But the truth is, farewell has become inevitable. Marseille, Lyon, and Monaco. 3 French doors open to welcome him back. The choice is his: rise again or remain a prisoner of memory. Kimpembe's story is not over. Do you believe he can write a new chapter, or were those the final pages? The fading flame, the roar of Zaire Emery. He was once compared to Pedri and Jude Bellingham, Paris's golden boy, Warren Zaire Emery, who ascended like a rocket toward the summit. But when talent ignores its own voice, it becomes a burden. His performances declined, his spark dimmed, and the young Parisian was no longer what he once was. 50 appearances, over 3,000 minutes under Luis Enrique. Yet presence is not measured in minutes, it is measured in impact. And that impact has vanished. Today, discussions surround a potential sale worth €50 million. A significant figure for his age, but a ceiling that is no longer guaranteed. Some predict a loan move. Others insist Enrique still believes in him, but the club does not wait forever. Will Zaire leave before he finds his roar again? Or will he rise from his own ashes? If the decision were yours, would you offer him one last chance? The name that fell from Enrique's plans, Lee Kang-in. From surprise hero during Paris's breakout season, to a name on the margins of the team sheet, Lee Kang-in, an international talent who tasted glory early, now finds himself quietly seated on the bench. With Luis Enrique, everything changed. No longer a starter, now appearing mostly in low-profile matches. But at 24, armed with pace, skill, and positional versatility, his value remains high, especially on the global market. Napoli are leading the race, and a deal could be finalized for just 25 million euros, a figure that seems fair, and possibly the beginning of his liberation. The decision draws near, either a new move that reignites the dream, or a quiet stay that extinguishes it. Do you see him as a valuable signing for Napoli? Or is Paris about to lose a talent they should have trusted more? The numbers that do not convince, Gonzalo Ramos. Sometimes numbers alone are not enough to win hearts. Gonzalo Ramos, the striker who scores and assists, has yet to convince. In Luis Enrique's eyes, he is simply a forward who does the job, not a cornerstone of the project. Despite contributing to 24 goals in under 1,800 minutes, trust has not followed. Paris has decided to place him on the transfer list, and the market is alert. Liverpool and Newcastle are watching. Chelsea are whispering. Juventus and Milan await the financial green light. 40 million euros is the asking price. And if a serious offer arrives, the door will open for his exit and a new striker's arrival. But the question remains, is Paris giving up on a forward who was never truly given his full chance? Would you give him renewed trust or open the door to his departure? A forward searching for light, Randal Kolo Muani. From an 80 million euro signing to a loaned out player, Randal Kolo Muani, a French striker once expected to lead the Parisian attack, now finds himself seeking a way out. His loan spell at Juventus revived part of his spark, proving the flame had not gone out. Yet he returns to a club that no longer sees a place for him in its plans. His market value has dropped to 30 million euros, but interest remains. Chelsea, Arsenal, and Newcastle are monitoring the situation. Juventus is considering a return. Bayern Munich could enter the race as a surprise contender. Paris, however, is no longer interested in temporary solutions. The club seeks a permanent sale, keen to close the chapter on loanees, reduce the wage bill, and clear the path for new arrivals. In your view, does Kolo deserve another chance at the top level? The cold seat awaits a decision. Carlos Soler. When talent becomes a burden, departure becomes inevitable. Carlos Soler, once a leader in the making, has found no role in Paris. Luis Enrique did not rely on him, and the message was clear. Find a club that will bring you back to life. His loan to West Ham did not restore the image. Time away from the pitch dimmed his brilliance, but not his hope. Attention has turned to Valencia, the club that shaped him, the one that might offer him a chance at revival. There are whispers in England as well. If he finds a manager who believes in him, the story could change. Soler now stands at a crossroads. A return to his roots, or a bold leap into the unknown. Do you believe Soler deserves one last opportunity in La Liga, or has time run out? The incoming stars, the fortress seeking its stone, Ilya Zabani. In England, a young Ukrainian has quietly matured, transforming into an unbreakable wall. Ilya Zabani. From modest Bournemouth to the radar of Paris Saint-Germain, his name now echoes as a potential solution to the club's defensive dilemma. The numbers speak clearly. Measured tackles, flawless positioning, and composure under pressure worthy of study. But this is no simple talent hunt. It is a clash of interests. Bournemouth refuses to bow to financial power. 80 million euros is the price set by the English side. And now, the question, will Paris take the risk? Or will they retreat in the face of complications? Zabani stands at a turning point. Will he be summoned to fortify the French stronghold, or remain behind the southern wall of English football? Do you see in him the long-awaited silent leader Paris has been searching for? Amid the glittering stars, Magnus Akliouche, the hidden spark in the heart of Paris. Magnus Akliouche, the rising star who dazzled audiences with his performances at AS Monaco, has now become the ambitious target of Paris Saint-Germain. But the story is far from simple. Monaco has raised the asking price to over 60 million euros, a staggering figure that imposes a decision under pressure. Can Paris succeed in bringing in a player whose technical brilliance has exceeded all expectations? Could Akliouche be the long-awaited difference maker, reigniting a key position and restoring glory to Paris? The decisive moment is drawing near. The choice between selling or staying will write a new chapter in Akliouche's journey. In the end, do you see him as the spark that will set Paris alight, or just another dream fading amid the calculations of the transfer window? Share your thoughts. Is Magnus Akliouche worth the pursuit? a goalkeeper with three eyes, Lucas Chevalier. Deep within Paris's goalkeeping dilemma, where Gianluigi Donnarumma shines on the line, a more complex challenge emerges when playing out from the back. Paris now stands at a crossroads, and all eyes have turned to Lucas Chevalier, the fearless young goalkeeper from Lille, a talent who thrives under pressure and refuses to back down. Chevalier is not merely a backup option, he represents a promising future, built on resilience, composure, and sharp decision-making. Today, he is closely monitored by Europe's elite, from Chelsea to Manchester City clubs, observing Paris's next move with measured anticipation. Will Paris act swiftly to secure this hidden gem, or will the dream slip away to rival clubs? The decision is imminent, and the future remains unwritten. Closing chapter, the end of an era or the beginning of one. Every summer, new chapters are written in the story of Paris Saint-Germain. Rising stars arrive, familiar names depart, and a manager continues his search for identity. But this summer is more than a season of transfers. It may be the beginning or the end of a project worthy of a continent that dreams in royal ambition.